You said earlier you've learned a lot. You and your team learned a lot from what happened last season. What exactly have you learned moving into the last part of this season to perhaps give a chance of winning?
Well, what I said, the most important thing to impact at the end of the season is to have the squad fully available. For me, it's requirement number one. And at the moment, we don't have it. And we're going to have it. And we are working really hard to have it. This is the requirement number one. The 2, 3, 4, if we don't have that one, it's going to be difficult. If we have it, I think we have a good chance.
So if you can't get your whole squad fit and keep them fit, you can't win the title?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's more difficult, especially in certain positions. When you have 2, 3 players in certain positions, you can always vary and change it. But there are certain critical positions, and then it becomes much more difficult. Yes.
You're playing a team who are towards the bottom of the table, most people think are going to get relegated. Is that more difficult sometimes than it is when you take on a team who are, like last week, West Ham, kind of having a good season, not right at the top, but just below the top?
Yeah, you just have to see the recent games when they went to Anfield, what they did, and how Liverpool beat them. And it's going to be at home, which is going to be even more difficult. So, very tough.
And everybody says, rightly, about you in your time here, you've always stuck to your principles, you know, famous phrase about the project. Vincent Kompany, is he right to be sticking to his principles at Burnley, even though they're not winning a lot of games? Would you say that's the thing a manager has to do?
I don't know, everybody has to feel. I think if you don't feel what you are doing, it's impossible to transmit it. And we have an idea, and the players have to buy into it, and they have to execute it. So when you don't really feel it, I don't know how you transmit it. Maybe for a game, but in a period of time, I think that gets diluted, and then you lose them.
Okay,
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Something you said on David, you said that he prevents things that you don't even see. What are those things that maybe we wouldn't see that he prevents?
Have a look at the game again. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. one thing I have seen from watching the games is he's very quick with his distribution.
Yeah.
That seems to help the attack quite a lot. Is that something that you've wanted him to do more, or is it something he's just kind of taken himself?
Yeah, there are opportunities in the match, obviously, when you can play fast and the door is open, that you can maximize those situations like every team does.
And with your squad so far this season, have you been able to field a team you've wanted to often, and does that even matter? And just talking about not having all of your players available all the time.
Yeah, but I think it's a great opportunity as well to adapt certain players, you know, in certain positions or roles on spaces, and see how they react, and they are so willing, and that gives you sometimes a different solution that you didn't thought about it, because the situation requires, and when you have players that are willing to change it and to do it, normally good things happen.
Okay, Simon from the Standard.
Mikel, can I just ask you about Roy Hodgson? Obviously,
Yeah.
went into hospital yesterday. Just if you had a sort of message for Roy, and what you think it says a bit about the sort of wider impact of managers and the stresses they're working on in the morning.
Yeah, well, I don't know the exact details, and hopefully he's feeling much better. And if that's the case, and knowing Roy, I think he will be in tomorrow. If that's the case, because he loves it so much. But yeah, we all got really worried with the situation, and hopefully he's fine.
Do you think for the sort of wider public, it just sort of gives you a realisation of what sort of stress you guys work under?
I don't know. There is that part, but there is the part of joy and how beautiful our jobs are as well. But it's yeah, a lot of times it's in relation to where you are, you know. But it's part of the job.
Just ask you, when you've spoken a lot about the squad this season, now we've got the sort of Champions League, Premier League back. Do you feel like you've got the necessary strength and depth to be able to go for both trophies?
Well, I don't know. That's the season is going to say that. It's going to depend that the availability that the squad have in the moment, and certain positions, as I said before. That's going to be, in my opinion, the key.
Okay, we'll take one more in the live section from Kaya.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just want to ask about Fabio Vieira. He's sort of nearing getting back to fitness. How far is he, and how well is his coming?
Very close. He's been training already for a few days with the team, so I think it's very close. He's evolved probably faster than we expected, and he's in a good place.
Is there a chance he could maybe make the return to his old club, Porto?
There is a chance, yeah.
And just one more on Carlos Cuesta has been linked to potentially Norwich job. I'm not going to ask you what you think about that, but how much of a compliment is it that maybe your coaching staff are being linked to managerial jobs? Do you support them in those kind of things?
Yeah, that's great. What it has happened not only with the coaching staff, with certain staff as well, and other clubs trying to come and get them, which is always a really good sign that they're doing a really good job, and we have the right people here.